December 11th, 1816, Frontier Ascendant. Indiana's admission as the 19th state in 1816 marked a clear shift in the political and social structure of the early United States. Congress accepted Indiana's petition on December 11th, 1816, after territorial leaders met federal requirements that included a census confirming a population above the threshold set by the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. Statehood closed the territorial period that had shaped Indiana since 1800, when Congress first separated it from the Northwest Territory. The event carried weight far beyond simple expansion. It confirmed that the Northwest Ordinance continued to guide orderly growth, it strengthened the influence of new Western communities in national affairs, and it set a frame for Indiana's own development during a period of rising migration, contested land claims, and shifting economic patterns. Indiana's Constitution of 1816 showed how the territory's leaders sought to align with national expectations while building institutions suited to local needs. Delegates gathered in Corydon during the summer of 1816 and drafted a document that established a bicameral legislature, an elected governor, and a public school mandate. The Constitution banned slavery in line with the Northwest Ordinance, though the territory still held a small number of long-term indentures that created conflict during the transition. The decision to outlaw slavery placed Indiana among the growing group of free states, balancing future admissions from areas where slavery remained legal. This balance mattered because Congress faced pressure from both free and slaveholding interests as the nation expanded. Indiana's entry supported the Free State column at a moment when policymakers watched Western growth with care. The local landscape at statehood showed a mix of frontier settlements, native groups facing forced land cessions, and incoming migrants from the mid-Atlantic and Upper South. Treaties such as the 1809 Treaty of Fort Wayne and the 1813 to 1814 series of agreements following the War of 1812 opened large tracts to settlement. These treaties reduced native control after years of conflict, including the rise and decline of the Confederation built by Tecumseh and Tenskwatawa. Indiana's shift from territory to state therefore reflected larger changes that shaped the Old Northwest, where federal officials used military action and treaty demands to expand U.S. authority. By 1816, the federal government viewed Indiana as stable enough for full admission, partly because the War of 1812 had weakened armed native resistance in the region. Economic conditions also influenced Indiana's readiness for statehood. Settlement moved northward from the Ohio River Valley as farms grew along new routes. Flatboats carried goods downriver, linking Indiana communities to Cincinnati, Louisville, and New Orleans. Local leaders saw statehood as a step that would support improved transportation, attract settlers, and provide the political standing needed to secure federal assistance for internal improvements. While canals and rail lines would develop later, early efforts to map roads and establish county governments underscored how statehood built the administrative structure needed for a growing rural economy. Indiana's admission affected national politics by expanding representation in Congress. The new state gained 2 senators and 1 representative at first apportionment. These seats strengthened Western interests that often favored land policies with low prices and clear title procedures. Western delegates pressed for simple access to public land, support for infrastructure, and recognition of issues important to small farmers. Indiana's congressional delegation became part of this pattern, aligning the state with neighbors such as Ohio and Illinois. Their influence grew as more Western states joined the Union. Statehood also shaped Indiana's internal political culture. Early leaders, including Governor Jonathan Jennings, viewed public education as a core element of civic development. The 1816 Constitution directed the legislature to support schools, though funding remained limited during the first decades. Courts, tax systems, and county institutions took shape under state control, replacing the territorial government that had operated under federal oversight. This shift allowed voters to choose their own governor and legislature, strengthening local participation during a period of rapid population growth. The historical significance of Indiana's admission lies in its place within a larger chain of expansion rooted in the Northwest Ordinance. That ordinance set rules for territorial governance, land division, civil rights, and the process that moved a territory to full equality with existing states. Indiana followed this path, showing that the system could handle rising settlement, regional conflict, and economic change. Its entry added a free state at a moment when the nation tried to maintain political equilibrium, and it marked the steady push of U.S. authority across former native lands, shaped by warfare, treaty negotiations, and migration. Indiana's statehood thus stands as a key stage in early national expansion, reflecting both federal design and frontier conditions that shaped the young republic. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.